Good morning. Well, it's morning here. Probably not morning where you are. Welcome to Blog Star Challenge, day number 5. I'm so happy that you've been with me on this journey this week. It's been a fantastic experience for me, and I hope that you can say the same. There has been a lot of value given out, and I know you've had a lot of homework to do. So don't stress if you're not done with it, okay? This stuff takes time. So you have the information. The videos will be in the Facebook group, Digitally Savvy Female Entrepreneurs, until March 19th. So you can go back anytime, rewatch those, and please comment if you have any questions throughout that time. Good morning. Hi, Jerry. Welcome. Welcome. I was just saying, don't stress if you haven't finished all of the lessons, because it was a lot of work, and I know during the week people are busy with their jobs and their families, so those videos will be in the group until March 19. So, pick away at them, do the lessons, really dig deep. You might even circle back and change some of the information that you first originally thought you were going to use. Like maybe with your ideal reader, you're like, this isn't quite right. Or maybe with your branding, you see something that inspires you and you're like, I have to include that somehow. So feel free to, tweak it. This kind of stuff is not set in stone, and it should evolve over time too. You're going to find that that'll happen. Good morning. Let's see who's on. I see Jane, Jerry. Good evening to you, Jane. Yes. Thank you, Jane. I'm really glad that it's been of value to you. That's fantastic. We'll just wait here a couple more minutes. So this morning I took my dogs for a walk. I take them for a walk every morning. It's good for all of us to get out of the house. Some mornings I'm like not wanting to do it, but they bug me until I do. So we were out on our walk this morning, and it was like 41 degrees, and it's windy, and last night it was raining on and off, and it felt really good to just be out there and walking briskly. And it's hard to get my dogs to walk briskly because they want to stop and smell everything, and they want to investigate and leave their mark every 4 steps. I'm not kidding. So this morning it was cold, first of all, and second of all, I wanted to get back and get ready for the video and get prepared for all of that. So I had to keep pulling them on, like, come on, let's go. And I'd have one dog going one way, one dog going the other way, and I'm stretched out. And I'm like, come on, let's go. We have to keep walking. It felt really good. We literally got back. I took their leashes off. I walked from the front door out the back door to get their food bowls, and it was raining. Like, we just missed it by like 30 seconds. So I'm really, really grateful that I didn't get soaked this morning, because that would add a lot of time for my getting ready with my hair. So my day has started out well. I find that a blessing that I got to miss the rain and just watch it from the window from inside. So let's see who else is coming on here. Hi, Gigi. Thank you for being here. Yeah, I know. The dogs have their own mind. And my little Chihuahua, he is so obstinate. He will literally just stop because he doesn't want to keep going that direction. He thinks he needs to cross the street now instead of go all the way to the corner. He'll just literally stop, and I'll be like pulling him, come on, let's go. And he'll like almost pull out of his harness because he's just obstinate. So they have such personalities. They're like kids. Yeah, welcome, Gigi. I'm so glad. I'm glad. Welcome to the live. It's great that you could be here live. And Gigi, you're in Southern California too. So did you guys get rain last night? We had quite a bit, I think. But the sun is out now, so we're happy. The sun is here. Yay. Your Frenchie does that too, Jane. Those silly dogs. Okay, well, we have like a zillion things to cover today because I want to review what we've worked on this week, and I want to talk about today's challenge, the new content, and I want to talk about how you can continue to work with me to grow and develop your blog. And then we're going to get to the questions and towards the end. And then the very last thing that we're going to do today is give away a $50 Amazon gift card. Who's excited? Give me some hearts. I'm excited. I wore my party earrings today because it's going to be a party. We're going to have fun. So I'm going to be asking, it's going to work a little bit differently today. I'm going to be asking questions throughout as we review each section. So pay attention because I'll pause and I'm going to wait for you to answer. So turn off your distractions, turn off your Instagram and your email and all the other distractions so that you can focus, because I might say something that you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about that, or I might say something in a different way that really catches your attention so that you get even more value out of those lessons we already covered, okay? So with that, let's get started and get this last day of the Blogstar Challenge going. So back on day one, back on Monday, it seems like forever ago to me, we talked about knowing your big why. And I really want to emphasize, if you have not done this activity, do not skip this activity. This is foundational. This is what's going to keep you going when things get hard. This is what's going to, set your soul on fire when you break it down. And a lot of us haven't ever gone there. We haven't ever really thought about, wow, what is my purpose? What do I really want to do? Now, your purpose isn't necessarily blogging per se, right? But your purpose is either, what can I do with the income that I make from blogging as my business, right? You can contribute in different ways in the world. That's a huge factor for a lot of people because everybody has a special group in their heart that they want to serve with their finances. It might be your church, it might be your school, it might be something within your community. It might just be that you want to be able to donate to those GoFundMe pages when they pop up on Facebook because someone had a heartbreaking event in their life. I know one thing that I would love to get to the point of being able to do is to have the money in my bank account. So if someone in front of me at the grocery store is counting pennies to be able to pay their bill or having to put things back because they don't have the money to buy, I would love to just say, let me bless you today and let me pay for your groceries. I just think that would be a huge random blessing, and I would love to be able to do that. So your big why might be to use your finances in some way like that. However, your big why might just be your message. You've been through something. You know something. You've experienced something that you know, if you shared it, would change the lives of other people. So your big why might just be your message. And you have to get that out there to the world because we are put here to serve others. We are put on this earth to be involved and be a part of people's lives, not just to sit behind our computer making money for ourselves. Okay, blogging is so much bigger than that. And I really hope that you see that. And if you came into this challenge with that perception, I hope that I've been able to enlighten you and you're starting to see the bigger picture of what blogging can do for you and do for your community and your world. So understand that big why. Go back to that lesson if you haven't dug deep enough and get to that point where you feel it in your bones and it makes you have the chills and you might even cry, okay? Because you have this huge aha. We also talked about on day one how you don't want to rely on social media as your only means of communication with the online world for your message. Okay, that's really a trend right now where everybody's either on Facebook or they're on Instagram. Those are the two I'm involved with most, so those are the two I'm going to speak about or have spoken about. But what I see is they want to make money off of Instagram, which is fantastic, but you have to have some way of getting your ideal reader more intimate with you, which would be on your blog, where you can share more content, and you can also capture their email so you can stay in touch with them. Okay, that's really important. And the biggest reason why you want to have a blog instead of relying on social media is just the fact that you own it. You have ownership rights over your content. Remember, on social media, they change those algorithms. They might shut down. They just change how the content is being shared. And one day you might wake up and they're no longer there, and now you've lost all of your content. So if you're hosting it on your own blog and on your own website, you own that, and they can't take that away from you. So here's your first question from lesson 1. What was your biggest aha moment or the most useful piece of information for you during that lesson? So either the big why, the why not to rely on social media, or why to have a blog. If you can remember day 1, write in the comments what was the most useful part of the training for you. Hey, Jay. No rain there, Gigi? Okay. All right, girls, I'm looking for comments. This is how you're going to be entered to be in the drawing for the Amazon gift card. Just a quick sentence, just acknowledging something that you learned during part 1. And if you haven't watched that in full yet, or you haven't done that homework yet, just say that. Just say I haven't worked on that part yet. Are you girls there? Oh, there you are. Okay. Good, Tiffany. Yep, you don't own your content on social media. And it's difficult to search through the posts. Yes, thank you for bringing that up again. It's a very mismatched search when you're trying to search through people's Instagram posts or Facebook posts. And it's much easier to search in the search bar of a blog. Social media isn't reliable. I know, isn't that disappointing? It's definitely needed though, Jane. I don't want you to think that you're gonna abandon social media. It's a huge part of what we're doing online, and you definitely need it. You just need to not rely on it. Oh, Jerry. Okay, honey. Take care and catch the replay. We'll be praying for you. Yeah, Gigi, I know. Instagram. Well, you know, they changed that algorithm like a month ago or something like that, and it just, I think with stories, you know, stories has become such an influence that people are just going there, and it keeps you on longer, and all of a sudden people are like, oh my gosh, I've been on Instagram for 20 minutes. I gotta go. And then they never get to click over to your website from there. So they're like, great content on social media, but what we really want is for them to go and buy from us, right? And be a part of our traffic situation, and get involved with us in a bigger way than just following us. Okay. Let's move on from that. Thank you for participating on question number 1. All right, so challenge 2, we talked about bold innovation. And remember, bold innovation was talking about how are you unique and different with your blog topic? How are you going to stand out from all of the clothing stores that are online? How are you going to stand out from all the parenting blogs that are online? How are you going to stand out as a fashion blogger? What makes you unique, and what makes your message special? So narrowing down your blog topic was one thing that we talked about. Remember, you can't be all things to all people. So if you want to talk about health and wellness, pick a smaller niche within that. You can't just, you know, have this broad spectrum of you're going to talk about exercise and health foods and supplements and drinking your water and meditation, and you have to get more specific. So are you going to be holistic about your approach with health? Are you going to be holistic about your food choices? Are you going to be hardcore? Are you going to talk about how you got to feel the burn? Are you going to talk about, extreme dieting? Are you going to talk to the woman who is wanting to lose 20 pounds quickly? Or are you going to talk to the 50-year-old who wants to be healthier so that she can enjoy her grandkids as they come, okay? So you have to narrow down the angle of your blog. And that's because the micro influencer is something that we talked about, how don't be scared to narrow down. The more narrow you are, the more specific you are, you might draw fewer numbers of people, but the people you do draw, those are going to be your super fans. They are coming there for a specific reason because they know you offer what they want and they love it. So they come back. And then the brands love it because they know that you have a tribe that is dedicated to you, loves your content, and then the brand is willing to work with you even though you don't have these mass amounts of numbers or followers, okay? So it's not the same as it used to be, 5 years ago with the blogging world. Okay, and then we talked to day 2 about your ideal reader, and I know a lot of you are kind of struggling with that, feeling like if I'm too specific on who my ideal reader is, then aren't I canceling out this whole other audience? Well, same thing, just like with your blog niche, you want to narrow it down and really understand that woman, okay? So just because you know that she is a cat lady doesn't mean that you're going to talk about cats all the time, right? You might just have cats kind of in your images, or you might reference your cat now and then. But you definitely know not to talk about dogs, right? Because she's a cat lady and she's not going to relate to those dog people. They're very different people, right? Do you know people like that where they're just like obsessed with one or the other and they don't like the opposite? So those are just keys that are or clues rather, about who she is that you're gonna think about when you're creating content for your blog, for social media, for video, and for your emails, okay? So don't be scared to really get to know her. You need to get to know her intimately. So in the comments from lesson 2, day 2, why is it important for you to know exactly who your ideal reader is? Tell me that in the comments. Stories are nice and quick, yet they're in a row, people. Yeah, Natalie. It's good to have you here, Natalie and Raleigh. Haven't seen your names on the lives too much, so it's good to have you here. Carrie. Hi, Carrie. Didn't watch it yet. I know it's better to niche down. Yep. Okay. Good to have you, Carrie. We're just doing, I'm going through a review of each of the lessons from this week, and at the end I'm asking questions about those lessons, and so make sure you're commenting, because when you're commenting and you're active, that's how you're going to get entered to win that $50 Amazon gift card that we're giving away today, because we're going to have a little party at the end. Okay, so yeah, it's been a busy week. It's okay. And I know people are sick. These videos are going to be up until March 19. You have time to go through them. And please know that as you're going through them, even though the live portion of the challenge is over, I'm still here. So ask questions. I will reply to your questions. We'll get you through all of this. And give feedback too, because there's a bunch of smart women in this group and they're excellent at giving feedback. They have a different perspective than I do. So for, ideal readers or branding, if you have a question on that, they can definitely give you feedback. Natalie, outdoor individual who enjoy different perspectives in life. I do find trouble narrowing my niche. I write content on lifestyle, motivation, snowboarding, snowboard fashion. Cool. Travel. Yeah, sometimes it's difficult. Oops, that just zipped away from me. Yep, it is difficult, but Natalie, if you're starting with a more narrow niche and maybe you're only talking about snowboarding, so you can talk about travel, like where you go to snowboard, the best resorts to go snowboard at, you know, who's offering specials about snowboarding and the fashion. Then you get known for that, and then you can start expanding. So then maybe you're talking about lifestyle motivation. Then maybe, you know, you start talking about what you need to do to take care of your body when you're a snowboarder, because you get banged up a lot, right? I mean, I'm assuming so. You talk about the Olympics and the snowboarding. You can talk about just the mindset of a snowboarder. What's it like to be out on the mountain and just feel that wind, or to do those flips in the air, or whatever it is that makes it exhilarating for you. You can talk about all those feelings and bring that in to the conversation of motivation and self-care. So I could see lots of content just around snowboarding itself. And then as you develop your ideal reader and you develop your audience, then you can start to expand that and get known for other things as well. Okay? All right. To know, because what I want to do is very specific. Not everyone. Yeah. Absolutely, Brandy. Not everyone is interested in building their confidence. Some people don't even know that they should work on it a little bit, right? Because I always find that those mean people that leave the mean comments and say nasty things about, oops, sorry, someone's knocking on my door and my dogs are barking. So we'll just ignore them. Those are the people that need to work on their confidence. Those are the people that need to have a lesson from you, but they don't know it. Okay, so you're not going to reach them right now. Maybe one day, but not right now. Okay, day 3. I'm not sure who that was. Faithy. So sorry. Day 3, name it and claim it. So we talked about coming up with your blog name, and there are several different ways that it gave you. Using Amazon Books, using the taglines of the books, combining different book titles that you liked, taking 2 words that may mean complete opposite but both go within the category of your brand. So those 2 blog names seem to be really popular, and they're fun and they're cute and unique. I like those. Using your own personal name, and if that's already taken, how you can kind of add to it with either online or your middle name, or coaching, so Tammy Gibson Coaching, or all those types of things. So if you discovered between day 3 and now, if you know what your blog name is, go ahead and type that in the comments. I'll try to go a little quicker here. We've got a lot to go over. Right, Jane? I know. I am obsessed with snowboarding right now because of the Olympics. I could not believe the flips and the tricks and the things that they were doing. It was amazing. And then Chloe Kim, Natalie, who is from California, and from like the LA area, and they drive to Mammoth, which is, you guys, like 6 hours. They drive there for her to train, and it's just, I'm so inspired by her parents, making this lifestyle available to her, and then she wins the gold. I was so excited for her. Unconventional nature, that's cute. I like that. Yes, okay, good. Yeah, Chloe. Coffee and Glow, yep. I like that two-word name there. Okay, so Tiffany, I think go Wonder and Wander. I actually had that written down in my notes that day that we went over it, and I skipped past that. I want you to name it that. I love that name, Wonder and Wander. And if you're going to talk about that whole homeschooling, supporting moms in those different areas, and how you can teach your kids about nature within that homeschooling program, and using your Wonder and Wander program that you've already established, or you're in the works of establishing, I think it's perfect. And I absolutely love the name, and I hope it's available for you. So Brandy, what did you decide to do about the URL? Did you decide to go with your name? Brandy Johnson Presents. Just curious how you ended up with that. Yeah. Tiffany Natalie says it makes me wonder what your blog is about. Wonder and Wander. I think it's a great name, so I hope it's available. Okay, yes, you did, Brandy. Okay, good. I like it. I think it's great. And actually, here's my note. I was going to talk about that. You can have a different URL than your actual blog name. So Brandy wasn't able to get the blog name, domain name that she wanted. And so she was considering other forms of a URL, including her name, Brandy Johnson Presents. So you can have a different URL. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Kara Alwell-Leba. She runs the Champagne Diet blog, and she's a life coach, and she is absolutely fabulous. She's got pink hair. She's amazing. And if you do not know her, you need to get on her list immediately. Her podcast is Style Your Life, and she's a New Yorker, and she's married. She doesn't have kids, but she just, like, I love her. She wrote Girl Code. It's a book. It was really good. But anyway, the whole point of that is that her blog name is the Champagne Diet, but her URL is her name. Okay? So if you need to go with your name and then have a blog title, you know, a name that you really love, then go for that. That totally works. Oh, absolutely, Brandy. Okay. Yeah, Tiffany, go check that out when we're done. So we also went over tech, setting up your blog, and I think a lot of people had headaches and anxiety over that. And I'm sorry, once again, I learned a huge lesson about not giving too much information. Tech is tricky, and it's not something I can sit here on a live telling you how to actually do it. That's something that would actually be better as maybe a webinar or one-on-one coaching with Skype. Would be a really good way to do that. And if you're interested in doing that and you want to set up like a private coaching call, like for an hour, and we can work together on Skype and I can walk you through things, you know, just message me and let me know, and we can work something out on that. So keep the blog set up simple, okay, for your own sanity, for your own time. You do not have time to be sitting there and playing with this kind of stuff for days. I know you don't. I don't, and I don't want to. So unless that's a hobby of yours and something you enjoy, just keep it simple. So with that, I uploaded a document in the group telling you step by step how to put together the Bluehost WordPress combination. And so you just go onto Bluehost, you get your domain name free, and then I tell you also in the document how it's just a really literal one-click, upload the WordPress, and then you pick out your theme, which is kind of the format or the layout of it, and then there you go. Now, I've heard that there's still struggles with knowing exactly what to do, and there will be if you're not totally familiar, but it's figure-outable, okay? You guys know Marie Forleo, that is her term, figure-outable. It is. So again, if you need a little extra help, let me know, but Bluehost is fantastic with their help, their customer service. I also uploaded a link to Squarespace, how to. It's a link that'll get you started on how to host your blog there, and they'll walk you through it. And also a link to Wix. Now again, I'm not familiar with those two as a user, but it looks really simple. So that's what I say, keep it simple, sweetie, okay? Pick from one of those three options and just get it up and stop messing around with it. All right, so have you decided what platform you're going to use? And if you have, go ahead and put it in the comments. If you haven't researched it yet, just say, I haven't researched it yet. Just let me know kind of where you're at on that. Can you upload videos to your blog, Carrie? Hey, Lisa. Bluehost, getting your head around it, yeah. Good job, Jane. Good job taking the action, right? And just doing it. Good job, Carrie. Yeah, I know Carrie was like, okay, I'm doing it. Okay. Okay, good to know, Natalie. Wix is limited on what you can do. I do know that WordPress has all these fantastic plugins that you can add to it to make it more functional for you, and or make it pretty, or whatever you're looking for out of your blog. So that's one great thing about WordPress, and I have heard that Squarespace and Wix are a little bit more limited in that because the plugins are designed for WordPress. Okay, so that is one advantage of going with WordPress. Okay, yeah, you can upload videos to your blog. It's just a piece of media. So first what you would do is you would upload it to YouTube. And so YouTube is hosting your video, and then you would bring that embedded code that YouTube gives you and you put that within your blog post. So yeah, you can totally have videos on there. Okay, Brandy. Yeah, I think Bluehost is easy. Jane did let me know that there are not monthly payment plans on Bluehost, so beware of that. I didn't know that. I mean, I just pay the yearly and I'm done with it, so I don't have to think about it. But I did think that monthly payments for the hosting was an option, but it's not. So you expect to pay that full price. But again, if you are interested in Bluehost and that's how you want to do it, use that link in that tech guide that I uploaded to the group, because if you go through that link, it's like $395 a month instead of the $799 a month. So just make sure what you're getting before you check out. Okay, but do know that they don't have a monthly payment. Okay, so yesterday, day 4, we did the fun little post-it note exercise to get you brainstorming about your branding. You can continue to brainstorm, and when you're out and about and you see something that inspires you, take a picture of it so you remember it. You can go to Pinterest. I mean, that is an amazing place. It's an amazing resource. Just build yourself out a board of things that inspire you, colors, just the general texture and the feel of it, and just, put some more thought into the brand of your blog. Now remember, the brand of your blog is not just about the look, okay? That portion of it is crucial, but it's also about the tone of your voice, in your conversations and in your blog posts and your content. That's going to get the people engaged. So if you're just a really funny person or you have a really sassy attitude, okay, that kind of stuff is going to draw an audience of people that really enjoy that kind of attitude. Some people really like kind of that drill sergeant type, just badass, telling you what to do, hustle, just that really hard, kind of that manly energy. Some people really like that and they need that to get them motivated. So if that's your tone that you're taking with your blog, that's the type of person that you're going to draw in. So based on your ideal reader homework that you did, okay, you're going to kind of understand who she is and what type of tone you need to have with your blog posts. And that is part of your branding. That is a huge part of your branding. That's something that I wanted to reiterate and help you understand and remember. Also with the branding, make sure you're being authentic. Do you really like it, or are you trying to force something because you think other people will like it? If it doesn't feel good to you, you're not going to enjoy it as much. And if you're working on it as much as you're going to be working on it, you need to enjoy it. Okay? So just make sure that it's something you really love. And if, be picky. If you're just like, something's just not right, then figure something else out. Find a new shade of red. I can't tell you how many shades of pink I have gone through to make it readable, but still be that light, soft pink that I was looking for. So you just have to play, you just have to get in there and be creative, and it's trial and error. And then once you have picked out what your branding is and what your voice is, then you want to be consistent across your platforms. So your social media, your blog posts, your About Me page, your YouTube videos, your live videos that you're doing, all of that stuff, the emails that you write and send out to your customers and your ideal readers, all of that needs to be consistent with the branding, the look, the feel, the tone of it. So you're going to actually utilize your brand to be a tool to help you succeed, okay? Because it's going to relate to your ideal reader, and that's how they become a super fan. If they don't like the look of your blog, but they love the tone, they may not come back because they're like, this blog just bugs me. Okay, so just to be perfectly frank with you, there has to be that consistency. All right, so in the comments, here is the question for this challenge. In the comments, just give me 3 words when we did our post-it. Just give me 3 words that you have decided will be part of your brand. And then we're going to get to the new content for today. And I need to speed up. I'm sorry, I don't want to keep you guys on here longer than an hour because I know your time is valuable. So just write 3 words that you came up with. Empowering, authentic, and chic. I love it. So, by chic, Carrie, is that you're going to bring kind of a fashion element to it, or with your language it's going to be a little bit more sophisticated? Compassionate, encouraging, inspiring. Good. So you're really going to, Brandy, talk a lot about feelings, right? It's going to be very much a feel-good, encouraging type of content, very friendly and supportive. Supportive is the word I was looking for there. Natural, innovative, and relaxing. Okay, totally chill, Natalie. I see that about snowboarders. I love that. Just kind of relaxing. You're in nature. Tiffany, joy, freedom, childlike wonder. Yep, love it. Yeah, the fashion element, Carrie. Yeah, good. Supportive, elegant, and edgy, Jane. Yes. Okay, good. Okay, thank you. All right, let's talk about all eyes on you. Now you have your blog up. Now how are we going to get people to come to your blog and read all this fantastic information that you have, or watch the videos that you're making and get on your email list and engage with you? So the number one thing that you need to do, number one, is set up an email subscriber list so that you can capture the emails of anyone that comes to your blog and inputs their email. The reason that you want to do that is because your email list is your lifeline. If something were to happen where you're like, I just don't want to do this blog anymore, or something drastic maybe happens in your life and you have this whole new direction, so you're going to start a new blog, you have your list of people that you can email and communicate with and say, hey, I'm changing direction a little bit. I think you'll still like this. Come on over, right? And you have this instant list that you can bring over with you. Also, when you have a list, and for example, say you have a retail business, you can be in communication with them more than you would be on the blog, because you can be like, you don't want to post every sale that you have and every special that you have on your blog, because that's just content overload. But you can email your list and say, hey, for my readers only, I have this special. So it's a way of communicating more deeply with them. And these people who sign up for your email opt-in, they are your ideal reader. They chose to sign up. They want to hear from you. So do not feel like you are bothering them with one more thing. They chose it. And if they don't like it, then they opt out. And they weren't your ideal reader anyway, and that's okay. Just bless and release them. Let them go. So how does that translate into traffic for you? Well, every time you post a new blog post, you email them and you say, hey, blah, 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 tell them a little story. And by the way, I have this new blog post up and I really think it's going to help you solve X, Y, and Z problem. Come on over and read about it. entice them to click the link and go over to your blog. And now you have traffic being driven to your blog from your email list. And the thing about people is people are busy, so you have to remind them. So they'll get your email and they'll be like, Jane, yes, I forgot about Jane. I've been so busy. I've been meaning to get over to her blog. I'm glad she emailed. I'm going to click right now and go over there and see what's up with Jane. Okay, so just people aren't being rude intentionally and forgetting about you intentionally. They're just busy, and everybody is consumed with their own life. So you have to remind them that you're here, like, hello, just give them a little wave. You can use any number of email providers. I've used iContact, Constant Contact, and MailChimp in all of my years. They have, different features. Some are better than others for certain things. Some cost more than others. I've really found that MailChimp is super easy to use, and I just like the template and just the usability of it. It's simple, and that's what I want. I don't need all this complicated stuff. And if I get to the point where I'm going to go complicated because I need all the bells and whistles, I'm hiring a content manager to do that for me because I don't want to mess with that. So MailChimp is the easiest that I've used. It's also free up to 2,000 subscribers. So you can get on there and you can actually go ahead and set up an email list, even if your blog is not ready yet. And I highly encourage you to do that. And what it'll give you is it will have a form kind of hosted on their site. So you'll get a URL and you can use that URL on your social medias to start capturing emails right now while you're working on the blog. So I would say that's the first step if you don't even have a blog up yet, is to get your email list started. That way you can announce too, right? Say you have an email list of 20 people and you're like, the blog is live, come check it out. And then you're gonna have those 20 people that day immediately on your first day. And it'll be exciting and motivating to you. And you'll be like, yes, because there's nothing worse than checking your traffic and being like, oh, no one came to visit today, right? It's kind of sad, it's kind of lonely. So just look into MailChimp because it's easy. There's a link to it in the tech file that I uploaded to the group from the Tech and Tequila Day. On that forum, there's links to a bunch of different websites that I recommend, and that one is on there. So we already talked about all of this. All right, and the next thing that you should do is set up Google Analytics. Okay, this is a Google, obviously, a Google run platform. And what it does is you take a little piece of code and they tell you exactly how to do it. There's a step-by-step instruction. There's a little piece of code that you're gonna input into your website admin, which is the behind the scenes area where you do your work. And it is going to track your traffic, and it's gonna track where people are coming to your website from. So you can see like, oh, I'm killing it on social media. Pinterest is referring a ton of people to my blog or to this specific post, or I'm getting a lot of hits on this piece about hair. Okay, that was has been consistently one of the biggest content pieces on my blog is about hair. People are looking for hair stuff, I guess. So that way I can look at it and I can go, oh, they want to read more about hair styles, color, how-tos. I'm going to do more content about that. Okay, it's still within my niche, my topics, but now I can really see what people are coming to me for, and I can give it to them more. Be warned that you will get a little bit obsessed with checking your numbers on Google Analytics. I used to click a couple of times a day just to like see, okay, what's going on. And I think you'll just get past that, but I'm warning you now that it will happen, and just avoid it because you will make yourself crazy. Like, oh, 5 less people came today. Okay, don't stress about that kind of small stuff. We don't have time to stress about that, right? So just be warned. Okay, so the brands that you work with, if you're getting sponsorships or they want to put advertising on your website, they're going to want to know your traffic numbers. So if you are interested in going down that avenue with your blog, then you definitely have to have Google Analytics. It's the one that they request. It's the traffic counting source that everybody likes to use. So get that set up on your blog right away. Also, you can see, like, if you notice that there's a bunch of traffic coming in from, say, XYZ blog, you click on that and you find out, what are they saying about me? What is the link from their blog to my blog? And then you discover a new fan. You discover somebody who loves your content and they're sharing your content. So then you can begin to develop a relationship with that person, maybe collaborate, share each other's links, something like that. So it's just good to be aware of where your traffic's coming in from and why that traffic's coming from that specific place. Okay, so we talked about email opt-in, and we talked about Google Analytics, and the last piece of today's training that we're going to talk about is content creation. Before you start announcing to the world that your blog is live, it would be really fantastic for you to have at least 5 to 10 blog posts already up so that when people come, they have more than just one post to read. Just kind of pad it with some good, valuable information. So I want to give you 5 ideas to get started. Aside from padding your blog with, 5 to 10 pieces, what I recommend you do is blog once a week. Okay, that's not too much, right? You could do twice a week, and I'm going to tell you why in a minute. But once a week with a really good quality, high value piece of content is going to be enough to get you through that entire week, and taking bits and pieces from that blog post, using it for social media, repurposing that content so you're not creating all this new work for yourself. In the old days, back when I started, man, we had to blog even multiple times a day. We had to keep that content fresh and new pieces of information out there constantly. And it was overwhelming and it wasn't sustainable. It was just too hard to keep up. But now that we have social media and we have these different platforms, we can take our blog content, that great value, and repurpose that. And we're still posting maybe a couple of times a day, but it's on these different platforms and it's work that we've already done. So we're not recreating it. So that's a really fantastic way to use social media to drive traffic back to your blog posts. You can just say, read more about it, or get my other 3 tips, and then redirect them back to your blog post. Okay, so with the content creation, I'm going to give you 5 ideas to kind of help you start brainstorming what you're going to write about. A how-to guide, people love, if you just Google how-to ... people love how-to guides. So whatever your niche is, do a beginner's how-to guide in that. So if you are, a baking blog, do a how-to guide, how to make a chocolate cake using sour cream. Okay, a basic recipe using an interesting ingredient. Oh, sour cream in my cake? But it's a how-to and they want to figure that out. Like, okay, how to pick a red lipstick for your skin tone if you're a beauty blogger. Okay, red lipstick's really hard for people to pick out. Give some tips. How to effortlessly walk in high heels, right? Women don't wear high heels because they're hard for them to walk into, but they would wear them if they could figure that walking part out. So maybe that's something you could do. So within your niche, think of a how-to guide for a beginner, okay? Somebody who's not familiar with the content. So can you put that in the comments, and we'll just take like 1 or 2 of those, and just to help get us brainstorming. What how-to guide could you write? Okay, that's cool. Thanks, Natalie. Natalie's saying that Wix has a built-in analytics. although she says Google Analytics may capture more in-depth info. Yes. Okay, Natalie is asking about starting a business Instagram account, and I'm not sure when I was supposed to cover that. To be honest, I was going to say something about that, but within the content, yes, you should have social media accounts that have the same name. I think actually we did cover that when we talked about your blog name, the Matchy Matchy. We did, so go check that one out, Natalie, when we talked about coming up with your blog name. But yeah, you want to have your social media account for your business, for your blog, not your personal account. On Facebook specifically, you're not supposed to be talking about your business on your personal account. You can get banned for that if you're doing it too much and they catch you. On Instagram, the benefit of having a business account is that you can link it directly to your Facebook business page. And then that information, that's how I do it. I spend my time on Instagram, but everything feeds into my Facebook page. So that's a benefit. Here's another benefit. Instagram is going to start allowing you to publish, to auto post. That's what I was looking for. Auto post single image posts, but you can't do the tags and all that, all the extra stuff. But they're going to start allowing auto post for business accounts on Instagram, which is really cool. It'll save you time because then you can batch all of that content. So definitely try and get your social media accounts, the name or an extension, piece of the name of your blog. Like mine is A Mom in Red High Heels is my blog, and my Instagram is A Mom in Red. So it's kind of a piece of it. It's it sounds familiar to people. So yeah, definitely get the business accounts for your blog. Hi, Jerry. Glad to have you back. Okay, we're gonna move on. Thank you to those answering. We need to move on. I don't want to take up too much of your time. So another content piece that you could do is guest posting. You have a different blogger who is within a familiar industry that your readers would enjoy, but it's not the exact niche that you're in because you don't want a quote-unquote competitor. So you might have someone who is a dairy-free baker, right? That's an extreme niche. You are a gluten-free baker. You both use food to heal your body. So bring her on, introduce her to your audience, and have her do a blog post for you. And maybe in return you could do one for her. So now you guys are getting in front of each other's audiences. But if you have those guest bloggers, you're not creating that content. And it's nice to have a break from that. And if you do that like if you can get once a week or twice a month, something like that, that's 2 less posts or that you have to come up with, that you have to write that content yourself. So that's a really great way to come up with blog post ideas. If you offer products or services, you're actually selling something, maybe you could highlight one of your customers, right? We talked about the soap girl back when we were talking about how she is using her blog, and she wanted to use her blog to make her customers feel like family. So she could totally bring on her, those repeat customers and just do a little interview with them and a picture of them with her soap and what's their favorite scent of her soap, what do they love about the brand, and then maybe a little personal fun information. Just a quick interview, and then you have yourself a blog post to put up, right? Then you could do another idea is to take something that's like in the news. It's a very current event, or it might be a movie coming out or a book that just got released that's within your niche, and talk about that. You could either do a review or your impression of it, or how they used a concept that you talk about, say it's eating disorders within the movie or something like that, and you talk about eating disorders on your blog, you can talk about, hey, this is a great resource, or these are the emotions that these people are feeling, or I didn't really like the way that they presented that. That's just not true. It's not factual. We do that a lot. My husband's a pharmacist, and there will be a lot of movies where they reference different not over the counter, but prescription drugs, and he'll be like, "That's not true," right? On all these TV shows with hospitals or whatever. So you can dispute that if that's something that you want to do. So the timing on that is everything, though. If it's in the news, you need to be talking about it now. New York Fashion Week happens in February and September. It wouldn't make any sense for me to blog about it in April. Okay, so just make sure it's timely when you're doing something current. And then here's the last idea I have for you. Now, this is something that you could do if you want to post 2 times a week. So you have one really high value content for that week, and then on another day you might do a blog series. So it would be a weekly post, and your readers know to expect it every Monday that it's going to publish. It could be something like where you get really personal. Okay, Jerry, you have a very personal story that you are using to communicate with your ideal reader as an example of why they want to live life now and live fully. So every Monday you might just give a little piece of your personal story. Or it could be something like every Friday you give a cocktail recipe. Let's celebrate the weekend, right? So every Friday they know to expect another great cocktail recipe from you. Or it could be like the Monday Blues, and you highlight an outfit that you put together using blue jeans. So just get creative with that. But then that way you would have 2 pieces of content every week. Okay, having those regular features means that you know what you're going to write about, and you don't have to come up with a topic, and your readers know what to expect. They look forward to, say they wear blue jeans all the time and they need new ways to style them. They know they can come to you for your Monday Blues series, and they know to expect that it's going to be there. Okay, you guys, that was a lot of content. Let me take a drink. Okay, catch my breath here. All right, so that was a lot of content, a lot of really high value. I hope that you found value in it. And I so appreciate that each and every one of you has been a part of this challenge, whether you've been able to be here live the entire time or just once or twice, or whether you've watched the replays every time. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter to me. What matters to me is that you got value out of it and the content was useful for helping you set up your blog. So now here comes the critical part of the challenge. What are you going to do next? Are you going to take the information that you learned and just set it aside and think about it for more time? Are you going to think, oh, that was really great, I should do something with that? Or are you going to take the momentum that we built here in these 5 days, and are you going to keep moving forward? Okay, life can get pretty crazy. As some of you have already told me this week, I intended to be on every live. Things came up. I just couldn't make it. We get it. We know. We're all crazy busy. So if you're not careful, all of a sudden your life is just about checking off your to-do list, right? It's about doing the dishes, picking up the kids. If you have a job, it's going to work and coming home, getting up and doing it all over again. So do you really want to wake up, pay the bills, and go to bed every day? Is that the kind of life that you really want to have? Here is my plea to you. Don't sleepwalk through life. There's too many people walking around out there who have no desires. They have no passion. They have no energy for really living and experiencing life. And I don't want that to be you. Okay, please listen to me. I have been where you may be right now. I have been desperate for answers to my financial stress. I have desired more from my life. I have known that there's something special that I have to offer that can literally change people's lives. Do you feel that for yourself? Do you hear your calling, but you're just too fearful to take action? Are you wondering if life will ever be more than just waking up, paying the bills, and going to bed? Do you wonder if your life could be what you dream that it could be? Is it really possible for you? I totally know, you guys. I understand that frustration. I literally used to sob over my computer. I would sit down and be so stuck that I would just be begging God for an answer. Just literally begging, sobbing in the middle of the night while my family slept. It was a really dark time for me, and it was really scary because I thought, is this all that life is? Is this all that there is for me? Just this confusion and frustration and just going nowhere? I didn't want it to be like that. I didn't know if it could be any different from that, though. Okay, so don't get me wrong, my marriage was fine. My kids were healthy. We have a home. We have a warm bed. My husband has a good job, and he is able to provide health care insurance for us and food on the table at night. I mean, my life was okay, but I knew that I was meant for more. It was just in me. I knew that I could do more. I knew I was capable of sharing. I knew that I was capable of changing the legacy that I was leaving behind. And I was ready for more. But things didn't begin to change for me until I started taking action. See, I read all the books. I took all of the courses. I was an online course-taking junkie, okay? I was an information gatherer. But all of that information is not empowering if you don't use it. Okay, you have to take action to make change in your life. You can know a lot of stuff, but if you don't take action, nothing changes. So once I got into motion and started that forward momentum, then my life began to change. Then I began to have clarity. Then I began to understand and know how to use my skill and how to use my passion and how to use my experiences to impact other people's lives. But just thinking about it, I couldn't see those things. Okay, so your clarity comes from your action, from your movement. And if your dream is to work from home so that you can be a bigger part of your kids' lives, or to work from around the world while you travel and enjoy different cultures, then you can have that. You can have the life that you dream of. You can have the freedom to design your life on your own terms. But right now is the time to do that. Right now, today, not in 6 months, not in 2 years when the kids are out of the house or your financial situation is better. If you don't start taking action now, it's not going to happen, okay? Think back a few years ago. Were you in the same place that you are right now? I know that happened to me. I'd be like, how am I still here? How am I asking these same questions? How am I still crying over my computer? How am I still stuck not knowing what to do? And it's because I didn't take action, and I don't want that for you. Sorry, I'm getting emotional. Sorry. It's just that I know how powerful we can be, but I know how fear can keep us stuck. And it kept me stuck for so long. And I don't want you to have to go through that. Sorry, didn't mean to cry. I want bigger things for you. I want you to get started because you don't know what tomorrow's gonna bring. Life is so unpredictable. So, girls, take the momentum that we have begun here and run with it. You have the tool. You have learned how to get started. You have the tools to step out into the spotlight and rock the online world with your wisdom, your style, and your personality. And you need to experience the satisfaction of serving other people in an impactful way, in a way that not only changes their lives, but it's going to change your life too. Your blog has the potential to do all of that for you. I know it's crazy to think, but it can be anything you want it to be. It can be your tool to that dream life that you have. You just have to get started. Are you ready to commit? Are you ready to finally live your best life sharing your passion with other people? Are you ready to serve? And if your answer is yes, I want you to join my 8-week Project Blog program. We've already gotten a jump start on the content. We have given you quality content to get you started. But for you to be who you are meant to be, and for your blog to be what it's meant to be, which is a tool to help you become a blog star so that you can live your best life by serving others and providing for your family, then you need to take action. Won't you join me today on Project Blog and get going on your dreams? We're going to just dive in deep of 8 weeks of content that I promise is going to be over the top value. I have a lot of experience, okay? I've been doing this for over 12 years. I know the ins and outs of this industry, and I know what works and what doesn't work. So utilize my wisdom to help you get to the place that you need to be to live your best life. And you can check out Project Blog at bit.ly/projectblog. And I sincerely hope that you will consider joining me on that journey. We'll begin class on March 19. Each week you will have one module to work on, and there will be a live training within a Facebook group that is private for Project Blog members only. However, I know we're all busy and we get behind on things. I understand that. So once you are in, you're in for life. You will always have that content available to you. And as the industry changes and things need updating, so will Project Blog. So you'll always have the most current information that I have. The live videos, if you can't participate live, if you can't even start this thing until May or June, it's all going to be there and you can use it when your time is right. But I am just asking you not to wait. You have the momentum, you're thinking about it, you know your big why, you know who your reader is, and you know why you need to help her. So take the challenge, put yourself out there, take that next step, do it for yourself, do it for your family, and do it for your ideal reader who needs you. She needs your expertise, your knowledge, your personality, your wit, your love, your charm. She needs you in her life. And if it's only one person, that's bigger than you. It's just like, if I can help one person get to her dream life, help her solve her problems, I feel like I've done a really fantastic thing. And that's really important to me, to be of service to women in that way. So thank you. Thank you for putting up with my tears and my ugly cry face. I'm just, I hate when I cry. my scrunched up face. It's ugly. So thank you for being here with this. Sorry. Thank you for being with me through this challenge. It's been a really special week for me, getting to know all of you and to get to relate to you on a daily basis. I really looked forward to every single day. I really enjoyed myself, and I am grateful that you were here, and I value your time. So let's get to the Q&A, and then we'll get to our Amazon drawing, because you guys have been fantastic. I see all these great comments and likes and hearts, and I appreciate that interaction. That means a lot to me. So questions about any of the content from the challenge, or about Project Blog, or about anything, okay? Let me back up and let me see. Okay. Wow, a lot of comments. Thank you, guys. I love you. Jane says even I can use MailChimp. Jane doesn't like tech. Okay, not sold, I'm relaxed and sophisticated. Yep. Gigi, think about, Gigi sells clothes and Love from Cali, right? Love from Cali. Think about California lifestyle. People are obsessed with California that don't live here, that aren't stuck in the traffic. So think about California. I think relaxed is a good fit. Adventure is a good fit. You know, there's so many adventurous places you can go in Southern California. I don't know if you saw my comment earlier, but you could take photo shoots of your clothes at all these different locations, and you could almost have a blog that was like a travel guide to Southern California, and the best food places to eat, the best places to visit, the best beaches to go to, the activities that are going on, and you're involving your clothes and your accessories all in those images, in the style, in the feel. Now, of course, if you're relaxed clothes, you may not talk about, you know, these refined 5-star restaurants, or you may not talk about these fabulous museum exhibits, because it doesn't quite fit with the culture of your clothing style. But there is a ton going on in California that does, so you could really reflect on that. And then with your SEO and travel, I mean, travel is a huge industry, so just think about that, Gigi, and pop questions into the comments in the group so we can help you figure that out. Separate Instagram. Okay, we've got these. How to buy quality food ingredients on a budget for your family. Yeah, quality food's expensive. We do gluten-free, dairy-free, low carb as much as possible. My daughter has celiac and type 1 diabetes, and I tell you what, our food bill is enormous. And then you want to buy organic meat and organic eggs and almond milk, and it's all just really pricey. Okay, good. You guys are exchanging social media. Hi, Anne. Okay, I'm not seeing any specific questions here. Yeah. Tiffany feels like she's on the cusp. The breakthrough's coming. I can feel it. Oh, thank you, Jean. Fear is so real. Fear is so real, Gigi. And I'll tell you what, can I tell you guys just really quick? I know I've taken so much of your time, so this will be the last story. Gosh, 5 years ago, I had a girlfriend tell me, and this is just someone that I kind of know through a friend. She's not really a real interactive friend. She said, I had a dream about you, and you were doing videos. And I asked her, because she interprets dreams, I said, what does that mean? Like, tell me more about this. So she thought about it and she came back to me and she's like, I really feel like God is going to use you through video to reach people for your business and to help women around the world. And that's always been in the back of my mind for the past 5 years, but I have been so fearful of doing live videos, because live is the new thing, because I went through an experience of creating videos that were, I hired a videographer, that they were edited. I had the sliding, scrolling script, and it was hard. It was really hard for it to come across professional, and I got stuck on that, and that was stuck in my brain, and so then I was really resistant to doing live. But I tell you what, I like live a lot more. It's been super fun this week. So thank you for going through that with me. It's been a learning curve for me. So can you guys just do me a favor real quick? This is just gonna make it easier on me. Write your first name in the comments if you're still here. So I'm gonna put them on a little sticky note. I'm gonna put them in my vase, and I am going to draw a name. I'm literally gonna draw a name. Some of you have been live every single day, and I appreciate your faithfulness, but the only fair way to do this is to literally randomly pick. So the promise of a $50 Amazon card brought you here, and I hope that by you being here, you received greater value than you expected, and something I said really sparked something inside of you. So that's my hope for all of you. So go ahead and type your names. I'm gonna put them on a paper, and then we'll end it. Okay, so I got Tiffany, Natalie, Brandy. And I think some people jumped off. I'm sorry. I know I went a little long. Just got so emotional. But we're women, right? And we all understand. Got Jay. Did I miss anybody before Tiffany? No. Okay. Excellent, Brandy. I hope that you will. The doors to Project Blog are going to be open until March 19. March 19 is the first day of class. So, well, actually, I guess the doors will close on the 18th. Okay, so you have 3 weeks. If the money situation, you know, if you need to wait for payday or something like that, then I hope that you will follow through with that, because it's really important to follow through. Oh, thanks, Jay. Thanks, Jane. I appreciate that. Okay, is that it? Everyone else has jumped off, huh? Okay, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna fold it because they're sticky. Who am I missing? Oh, Brandy. Gotta put your name in there, Brandy. But it's fun to have, you know, little prizes. I have a lot of beauty products because I get a lot of samples for my beauty blog. So I think maybe next time what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together some beauty goodies instead of that too, guys. That'll be fun, right? Awesome, Tiffany. I hope that you do. Okay, girls. Yeah. Everybody, fingers crossed. And I have Tiffany. That's backwards to you. Congratulations, Tiffany. Thank you for being here. Tiffany's whole family has been so sick this week, so I hope this adds a little bit of light and love to her day, something a little special for all her suffering this week. So I really, 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 honestly, I am so grateful for each and every one of you for being a part of this challenge. And just, I'm going to be looking for some feedback. So I'm going to put together a survey. If you guys are willing to write me a little testimonial, I am going to put that on my Project Blog sales page. And if you don't have your blog URL yet, then when you get it, we're going to add that to it. So it's going to give you a little bit of exposure for people to say, oh, Wonder and Wander, she checked out this challenge. Let's go to her blog. Let's check it out. Okay. So, watch for that. I'll post that in the group. I just need to put it together. But I appreciate every one of you. Thank you. Thank you. Love to you all. Have a wonderful weekend. I'm going to go have a margarita now, I think, and a nap. Love you all. Bye.